Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yoga with Brock. I am, of course, Rock in the Box if you don't know who I am. One second, my music is super loud. How's everyone doing tonight? I hope they're having a good week. I've had a very long week, so this is going to be a nice session. I apologize if you see my cat. She is down here with me today, so she's probably going to be playing while I try to do this. So this is Bailey. If you don't know who Bailey is, she's my little baby princess who's shedding a lot. Yeah, you are. But yes, welcome. This is your first session. Thank you for trying it out. Oh, you want to do yoga too, boo boo? Yeah. Okay, you can do some yoga with me. If not, of course, welcome back. While you get settled in and as we all get ready, just a few things to make sure you have some nice comfortable clothing on. You want to be all nice, relaxed, and comfortable. If you are on hard floors, make sure you have a nice yoga mat just so you're not slipping and sliding. It makes everything a little bit easier on your feet and hands. I do recommend if you have wireless headphones to go ahead and plop those in, just because it makes it a little bit easier to hear me, and you can actually listen to the music and surround yourself and all of it, and nice and easier for enjoying it all. And of course, have an open and positive mind. Yoga is about enjoying yourself, learning about yourself, de-stressing, all that fun stuff, and that's why you're here. And that's why we're all here, just to be positive and relax and stretch, and it feels so good. Some few important things about yoga. And while we do yoga, it is good to, while you're doing the stretches, to find your range. And what I mean by that is when you're doing the stretches, there is a point where a stretch is too much and a stretch is not enough. And you want to find that happy medium where you're actually stretching yourself, but you're not overstretching yourself and hurting yourself. And that's part of yoga, is, finding your balance. We also all do yoga differently. I can't do every position perfectly, and there is a right way of everything, but there's no perfect way of doing everything. So it is perfectly okay if you can't do a position, or you can't stretch that far or bend your body to a certain point. That's okay. We are all built and designed differently. But you know where you need to improve, and you know what parts of your body or set a goal to get in just a little bit farther, so to enjoy that stretch a little bit deeper. Of course, as we do all of our positions, it's important to be breathing properly and to be breathing. I am one to hold my breath, and it's a lot harder when I'm talking to you, but I like to hold my breath when I'm trying to do something, especially something that's a little bit more difficult. So make sure you're breathing, and of course I will be here to remind you to do that. And if you ever need a break, please you can stop, just sit down, relax. Not here to work you too hard, but you're supposed to be relaxed. It can be a little much sometimes, especially for somebody who's not used to yoga. So if you need a break, just sit down, relax, jump back in whenever you can. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to send them in chat, DM me on the Discord. I don't read chat much until the very end, just because I'm focused on what we are doing currently. But yes, if you're not part of the Discord and you are here, definitely be joining the Twitch Crew Community Discord, where it is designed and built around streamers alike, and there are also people who don't stream in there. We have a great community for musicians, artists, game developers. That's all we have. If you need technical help with your stream, or if you're new to streaming, it's a great place. It is a giant community who is just filled with positivity, and we are always there to help in any way we can. So if you're not already joined, definitely go ahead and join away. There should be a link at the very bottom that says Discord. Just click on that. But yes, let's go ahead and jump to it. Boo Boo, are you going to do some breathing exercises with us? You going to breathe with us? Yeah? All right, we are going to start with our breathing exercises. Real quick, there is a right and a wrong way to be breathing, which might sound a little weird. When you're breathing, you want to make sure that as your lungs fill with air that your abdomen is filling as well. It should be going out, not in. And as you breathe out, your abdomen should be going back in, and as your lungs decompress, everything should be decompressing as well. The wrong way is when you breathe in, your abdomen comes in. Don't do that. You're causing more work on yourself. So, and of course, you want to be breathing in and out through your nose, only because it warms, moistens, and filters the air as you do that. So let's go ahead. We're just going to do our normal breathe in, breathe out. You can always do it at your own pace if you prefer to do that, or you can follow along with me. I always like to stick my hand on my tummy just so I can feel my abdomen going the correct way. So let's go ahead. Make sure you're in a comfortable seated position. You just want to hop into the stretches, don't you? Alrighty, and stop it. Go ahead and close your eyes, listen to the music, and breathe in, and breathe out, and breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. Breathe out. Go ahead at your own pace. Take 2 more breaths. Alrighty. And go ahead and breathe at your normal pace. You're good. I normally do our next breathing exercise, which is called a pranayama, but I have a bit of a stuffy runny nose, so we're not going to be doing that today. Go ahead, you're good. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the 6 movements of the spine. Boo, can you do the movements with us? Yeah? Oh, baby. 6 movements of 6 movements of the spine, of course, is the 6 different ways your spine can actually move. Your spine can bend up and down, it can go back and forth, left and right, and it can also twist. So we are going to stretch get a nice good warm up in here with our 6 movements. Boo boo, I'm gonna have to ask you to move unless you want to do it with me on here. So to begin, we are going to start on our hands and knees as such. Keeping your arms and knees shoulder width apart. Your shoulders should be up in line parallel with your wrists then. And wherever your feet are comfortable, go ahead and put those where you want to. And the first 2 movements are the bending, and those are called cat and cow pose. So for cow pose, you're going to be dropping your abdomen, and as you do, your pelvis is going to be arching up, and you should also be lifting your chest and shoulders up a bit, and you can also reach your head, tilt your neck up just a bit. And then for cat, you're going to do the complete opposite. Your back is going to arch up, pelvis should be moving in, chest should be moving in just a little bit, just to kind of make like an angry cat pose. And those are the two poses, and we just do those back and forth just to start getting a good stretch into our spine. So, in our neutral position, oops, sorry, boob. And we're going to drop our abdomen, raising our pelvis and chest up into cow pose. And then go ahead and switch to cat, arching your back up, bringing your pelvis and chest in. And switch back to cow, dropping your abdomen, pelvis up, chest up. Make sure you are breathing, of course. And back to cat, bringing your pelvis in. And back down to cow. And back to cat. And back down to cow. And one last time to cat. Alrighty. Go ahead and go back into that neutral position. If you need to readjust yourself, go right ahead. Just make sure everything's lined back up. Next one is just moving side to side. Pretty easy one. We're just kind of moving the spine back and forth. Just going left and right. You can keep your pelvis fixed in one spot. I always like to just move it just a little bit. And make sure you're breathing. You can do this one at your own pace, whatever's comfortable with you. Some people like doing it a little bit slower. And a couple more times. Alrighty, and go back into your neutral position. Isn't she cute? Look at her. What are you doing? The last one is going to be the twisting of the spine. You just love your camera, don't you? Twisting of the spine, it looks a little bit more difficult. Pretty easy, I promise you. Boo Boo, you're going to be in the way for this one. Yeah. So for this one, to start, we're gonna start with our left hand, or I'm gonna start with my right hand, just because she's gonna be in the way. Boo Boo, what are you doing? Come here. You're in the way. I don't want to boop you. Come here. Perfect. There we go. Okay. So right hand, you're gonna thread it behind your left arm and slowly just drop your right shoulder to the floor, keeping your pelvis up. And then with your left hand, I normally like to stretch it behind my back. And then if you do that, just give a little lift to your left shoulder towards the ceiling, just to deepen that stretch just a little bit more. And you're just going to hold this for a few moments. And if you need to see that again, start with your right arm behind your left, slowly dropping yourself to the floor, and then your left arm wherever's comfortable. And make sure you are breathing into your abdomen. 2 more breaths. And go ahead and unwind yourself from that back to your neutral position. And we're going to do the same thing for the left side. So with your left arm, you're going to thread it behind your right arm. Slowly, my shirt for y'all. Slowly dropping your left shoulder to the floor as your hand goes and reaches out. And then wherever is comfortable for your right arm, if you want to reach it behind you, give a little lift to that right shoulder towards the ceiling. And just focus on breathing. And 2 more breaths. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and unwind yourself out of that one. And after doing these, I always like to go into child's pose, which is just sitting back on your feet, stretching your arms forward, and just slowly lowering yourself to the floor. Just to stretch out, elongate your spine. Alright, go ahead and slowly walk yourself back up. And those are our 6 movements of the spine. So yes. Next thing we're going to do is our sun salutation. So I'm going to switch it over to my wider angle camera so you can actually see everything. So for our sun salutations, we are going to start in our standing position. Of course, if you already know what you're doing, you go right ahead and go at your own pace. Or if you want to follow along, that is fine with me too. So our sun salutations, we start in a nice tall standing position, making sure your feet are shoulder width apart, standing nice and tall, nice and strong. Remember, if you need to imagine that string that's running through your body, pulling yourself up just to keep yourself standing nice and tall. And from here, sun salutations start in our prayer position. And we're going to take a deep breath in and breathe out. And as you breathe in, we're going to swoop our arms down and up over our heads, crossing them. And as you breathe out, swing your arms back down, bend over to touch your toes. And then as you breathe in, you're going to come up halfway up your leg. And breathe out as you go back down to your toes. And breathe in as you put your hands to the floor, feet back into downward dog. We're just going to hold this, we're going to hold downward dog for a little bit. If you need to walk in place a bit, go right ahead. I always like walking in place, helps stretch out my hamstrings a bit. Hi, boo-boo. Yeah, I know. I'm doing downward dog. I already did cat pose. Alright. And then from here, we're going to shift ourselves forward into a plank pose. And then drop your knees to the floor, chin and chest, keeping your pelvis up. And then from here, you're going to scoop yourself up into cobra, dropping your pelvis, lifting your upper body, elongating your feet, kind of making a nice like L with your body. Stop that. And then from here, you're going to curl your toes under, shift back up into downward dog. Then you're going to walk your feet forward, hands back, touching your toes again. And then as you breathe in, you're going to come all the way up, reaching your hands over your head, and then back to prayer pose. And let's go ahead and do it again. We'll probably do it like 5 or 6 times this time. Do a couple more this time. So, breathe in, and breathe out. And breathe in as you sweep your arms up over your head, crossing them. And breathe out as you go all the way down to your toes. Breathe in, up halfway up your leg. Breathe out as you go back down. And breathe in as you drop your hands to the floor, feet back into downward dog. Breathe out as you shift yourself forward to plank pose. And drop your knees, chin and chest to the floor. And sorry, I kind of slickered or anything. And go ahead and shift yourself up. Shift yourself into cobra pose. You're in my way. She does not want to move. And curl your toes under and shift down to downward dog. There she is. And feet forward, hands back, touching your toes again. And breathe in as you come all the way up, stretching your arms over your head, back to prayer pose. And breathe in, and breathe out. And breathe in as you sweep your arms down and up over your head, crossing them. And breathe out as you go all the way down to touch your toes. Breathe in, up halfway your leg. Breathe out as you go back down. Breathe in as you put your hands to the floor, feet back in the downward dog. And breathe out as you shift yourself forward into plank pose. Breathe out as you put your knees to the floor, chin and chest. Yeah. And scoop yourself up into cobra pose. Curl your toes under, back into downward dog. And breathe out as you walk your feet forward, hands back to touch your toes. And breathe in as you come all the way up, hands over your head, back to prayer pose. And breathe in, breathe out. And breathe in as you swoop your hands down and up over your head, crossing them. And breathe out as you go down to your toes. Breathe in as you go up halfway your leg. And breathe out as you go back down to your toes. And breathe in as you put your hands forward, feet back into downward dog. And breathe out as you shift yourself forward into plank pose. And breathe in as you drop your knees to the floor, chin and chest. And breathe out as you shift yourself up into cobra. Curl your toes under. Breathe in as you go into downward dog. And breathe out as you walk your feet forward, Hands back to touch your toes. And a nice breath in as you come all the way up. Arms over your head. Back to prayer pose. And breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in as you swoop your arms down and up over your head, crossing them. Breathe out as you go all the way down to your toes. Breathe in as you come up halfway up your leg. Breathe out as you go back down. And breathe in as you put your hands to the floor, feet back in the downward dog. Breathe out as you shift yourself forward into plank pose. And breathe in as you drop your knees to the floor, chin and chest. And breathe out as you go up into Cobra pose. Curl your toes under. Breathe in as you shift yourself back into downward dog. Breathe out as you walk your feet forward, hands back touching your toes. A nice breath in as you come all the way up, hands over your head, back to prayer pose. Let's do one more. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in as you swoop your arms down and up over your head, crossing them. And breathe out as you go all the way down and touch your toes. Breathe in as you come up halfway. And breathe out as you go back down. Breathe in as you drop your hands to the floor, feet back into downward dog. And breathe out as you push yourself forward into plank pose. Breathe in as you drop your knees to the floor, chin and chest. Scared me, boo-boo. And breathe out as you push yourself up into Cobra. And curl those toes under. Breathe in as you push up into downward dog. And breathe out as you walk your feet forward, hands back, touching your toes. And a nice big breath in as you come all the way up. And you reach your hands over your head, just get on your tippy toes and just give your nose a nice big stretch. And back down to prayer pose. Alrighty, and those are our sun salutations. Give me 1 second as I adjust my mat because it likes to move. There we go. Alright, and next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our warrior poses today. I'm going to get some nice good stretches in. And of course I'll show you how to do each and every one, and then I will do them for the real. If you already know what you're doing, of course, go ahead and do it at your own pace. The first one is going to be our Warrior 1. To start, we're going to start with our right foot forward. Toes should be pointing the wall. Left foot should be back. Those toes are facing you right now. And from here, you're going to twist, making sure your torso is facing the same direction as your right toes. You're going to raise those arms up over your head, elongating your spine, and just holding that position. Again, if you need to watch. Right foot forward, toes should be pointing forward. Left foot back, toes should be facing at a 90-degree angle. Twist your torso so they are facing the same direction as your right foot, and lift your arms up over your head, helping elongate your spine as you pull yourself up. Make sure you are breathing. And from here, we are going to move into what they call humble warrior. So for this, you're going to go into a lunge. So bending your right knee. You're going to take your arms, put them behind your back. You're going to roll your shoulders back. And as you do, you're going to slowly twist at the pelvis, bringing your torso down to your right knee and lifting those hands up above your back. Again, bend the right knee into a lunge, arms behind your back, making sure you're keeping your torso forward in the same direction as your right toes are facing. Roll those shoulders back, and then bending at the pelvis, you're going to lower your torso down to your right leg, and as you do, you're going to lift your hands up above your back, keeping them interlaced. And breathe and hold this for just a few moments. And as you lower your hands, bring your torso up, unlace them, and that would be humble warrior. Warrior 2, we're going to keep staying in our lunge position, making sure that that right knee is either above or behind your ankle. You're going to twist your torso facing the same direction as your left toes. And bring your arms up side by side as such, and then turning your head to gaze upon the right fingertips, making sure your torso is again facing the same direction as your left toes, and just looking forward past your fingertips on the right hand, making sure you're breathing. One more breath. Alrighty, go ahead and drop your arms. Warrior 3 is a bit of a challenge pose. So I will of course show you first. What you're going to do is with your right foot, you're going to bury that into your mat. And as you lift your left leg up, your arms are going to come forward. You're going to make like a T with yourself, like a flamingo, but it's making himself long. So again, this is one of those positions I'm not perfect at, but practice makes perfect. So planting my right foot into the ground, I'm lifting my left leg up and bringing my arms forward, just making and elongating myself. So that's what it looks like. Again, I'm going to try for real this time. It's good if there's a wall in front of you, go ahead and move to where there's a wall so you can actually use the wall to support yourself. So lifting that left leg up, reaching your your arms forward, and just making yourself as straight as possible. And just holding that, making sure you're breathing, stretching yourself. And we can go ahead and lower ourselves back down. Alrighty, so that was everything on the right side. We're going to do all the same on the left. Good, I always forgot to point out this. If we're ever doing any balancing positions, it's always good to never close your eyes and to focus on a single point on a wall. If we're a nail, a hole, or something, an imperfection, just focus on that. Make sure it's not moving. Just focus all your attention on that. It will definitely help when you're trying to balance yourself. So, left side time. We're going to bring our left foot forward, right foot back. Left toe should be facing as such. Right toes are facing towards you. 90-degree angle. We're going to go ahead and go into Warrior 1, twisting our torso forward, same direction as our left toes, and swooping your arms up over your head, elongating your spine, stretching yourself up. And make sure you are breathing, of course. And then from here, we're going to go into Humble Warrior. You're going to drop your arms, bend your left knee into a lunge. If you need to reposition yourself, go right ahead. You're going to put your arms, interlace your fingers behind your back, and roll those shoulders back, and twist, and slowly lower your torso, twisting at the pelvis. And as you lower down to your left leg, lifting your arms up over your back, getting a nice good stretch into your shoulders and your legs and thighs. And as you lower your arms, you're going to help bring your torso back up. And staying in that lunge position, we're going to move into Warrior 2. So making sure your torso is facing in the same direction as your right toes are pointing. Bring your arms up. And imagine yourself reaching both hands towards the wall, just stretching them out. Keeping that lunge. Keeping that torso facing the same direction as your right toes. And your head should be looking and gazing upon the left fingertips. And breathing. And one more breath. And we're going to move into our Warrior 3. Again, if you need to find a wall, go right ahead. This time you're going to bury your left foot into the mat or the floor. Take a deep breath. Planting that left foot into the mat as you lift your right leg up, reaching your arms forward. Just finding a good balance, and remember to focus on one point on the wall that's not moving. And go ahead and slowly lower yourself back down to a standing position. Alrighty. And as you can see, I am not perfect at that pose. It's one of those poses I need to work on. Balance is the first key. Finally, I think I got my balance, which is good. Now it's just getting my hamstrings to stretch out, which is the hardest part. But as you can see, yoga is not perfect. It's about how you stretch yourself and where you find yourself. So, last thing we're going to do is just do our normal corpse pose. Just lay down. I'm going to mute the mic. Just closing your eyes. You going to join me, boo-boo? Yeah? Okay. So let's go ahead and we're going to go down into corpse pose. I'm going to move your tail, sweetie. I just don't want to lay on it. Actually, I'm going to do my close-up. There we go. So laying down in the corpse pose. Just going to focus on closing your eyes, emptying your mind, relaxing all your muscles, focusing on the music. This is a good meditation pose. And if you need something to focus on, if you feel your mind drifting, a good focus point is your heartbeat. and just listening and feeling it beat pulse after pulse. Alright, keeping your eyes closed, and slowly bring yourself up into a seated position. And take Big breath in. Let it out. Another breath in. And breathe out. Go ahead and slowly open up your eyes. Like if you want to come through, you can. And that will be the end of today's session. God, you're like shedding like crazy. Who's that? Go get him. Alrighty. So yes, thank you for stopping by and watching Yoga with Brock. Definitely appreciate it for coming by, and thank you for relaxing with me for a bit. Thank you Twitch crew, of course, for letting me do this every week. If you didn't see the announcement, we are actually moving Yogas with Brock on to Tuesday nights. Same time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's just going to help better with my schedule and everything I've been trying to do. So we are moving that to Tuesdays. So if you're already not following again, follow the Twitch crew. Great people. I'm there try to almost be there every day. It's not every day recently because of working a full-time job and being a full-time student. So this is always much needed every week. But yes, we're going to find somebody to raid real quick. So give me 1 second. I don't know who's all streaming because I close Discord every time. Here we go. Alright, you know what? Actually, we're going to go to Edge. Because I don't think I've... What, baby? Nancy. So yes, I hope everyone has a great rest of their week, since it has been a crazy week for me. I don't know how about anybody else, but this week has been absolutely crazy. There we go. We're gonna /raid. We're gonna go over to our good boy Edge. If you don't know who he is, great guy. There we go. And yeah, I'll see you all Tuesday. Alrighty? Have a great rest of your night, everybody. Thanks for stopping by.